You were raised in Memphis.
Absolutely.
You lived for some years in Atlanta, Georgia. You
Absolutely.
now reside in the Murfreesboro, Nashville, Tennessee area.
Yes.
So I like to have a little fun with my guests when I interview them before we go, play a game or two, not just, ask them a few questions and get up off here.
All
So
right.
are you down?
I'm down. Let's
All
go.
right. All right. So strap in for another installment of Who Got It?
All right. Who got it? Now, I also lived in California, so
Oh, you
you
lived
got.
in Cali too? Where you live at? Where you
I
lived at in
lived in
Cali?
San Fernando. I went to San Fernando High School for a period in my life. I went out there to pursue a music career. So speaking has always been a part of my
See,
life.
it's even more layers. I worked with this woman for a year, over a year. We done had multiple conversations on the telephone. Even after I worked with her, I'm from California. How I'm just now knowing she went to
I
high
don't
school in
know.
California.
Yes, San Fernando Valley. Yes.
Layers upon layers. Well, we about to find some more layers out right now.
Let's
All right.
go.
All right. So not everybody watching has been to Memphis. Not everybody watching has been to Atlanta, and not everybody watching has been to Nashville or Murfreesboro.
Hmm.
So your insights here might help someone watching.
Okay.
So I got 5 questions for you. Who got it? Memphis, Atlanta, or Nashville? I'm just gonna say Nashville, okay, for all intents and purposes.
Okay.
You can consider Murfreesboro in the Nashville mix if you choose to.
Okay.
All right. Who got it? Which of the three cities is the most would be the most interesting city to write a story about?
Memphis. Memphis. Memphis gonna give you a little bit of everything. You're gonna get some soul food. You're gonna get some food for your soul. You're gonna get some entertainment for your soul. You're gonna have a great time when you go there. You might run for your life, but you're gonna have a great time while you're there. You're gonna meet some really outstanding people, and then you're gonna see some people that you say, "Yeah, I don't have anything on me. I don't have anything on me. So I'm not
That's
your
gonna
guy."
add to the story.
Yes, it's gonna add to the story, and then you're gonna meet some people that have a true love for Memphis.
Mhm.
You're gonna feel it. They're Memphis for life. So, and I'm Memphis for life. So, yeah,
For sure. All right. So the most interesting city to write a story about would be Memphis.
absolutely.
For many different reasons. I can see where you're going there. I see what you did
Yeah, yeah.
there. All right, who got it? Memphis, Atlanta, or Nashville? Which city has the best opportunity for personal growth?
Nashville. Nashville. Nashville is being developed as we speak. When I moved here, I moved to an area where I told the manager I'm not going to take the job because there's nothing but woods there and I don't want to live in the country. So when I moved here in 2015, it was nothing but just
Mhm.
wooded areas, and I thought, who gonna live? What is going on in this backwoods this backwoods town? And here it is, 2026. There's businesses all around. There's new homes. There's mansions in down the street and around the corner, and then so Nashville,
Nashville.
Murfreesboro, absolutely.
It's still growing, and it's allowing it will allow individuals to grow. Atlanta
Uh,
is a little convoluted, a little
yeah,
congested,
yeah.
and Memphis
Atlanta,
has its share of capacities, like most tough urban cities do,
yes.
and that's just using
Uh,
using a dictionary. I'm just trying to use a dictionary.
You know what? I love Atlanta. So when I want to have a real good time real quick, Atlanta is my hot spot. So
Yeah.
I'll give Atlanta their props too, but I'm in and out. So,
Yeah, for sure. Got to come back to where it's
yeah.
cool to grow. All right, who got it? Memphis, Atlanta, or Nashville? Which city would you claim for their musical roots?
Memphis. Memphis. I mean, come on. You got the latest and greatest out of Memphis. You got MJG, I mean,
Eight ball MJG.
8 Ball MJG. They live down the street from me when we lived in Orange Mound. And,
Wow.
I didn't know they would be big stars. That they was just homies in the neighborhood,
Hmm.
young black boys that you saw standing on the corner rapping. And, if that's your thing, you
Young
stand
Black
there and listen.
Brothers.
But yeah, they were just young men trying to make a living. Isaac Hayes, everybody likes to say Elvis. Elvis was not from Memphis. He was from Tupelo, Mississippi, but he made his home in Memphis. So, Memphis,
Well, you
so
got it. I'm not going to take it away from you. I'm not going to take nothing away from you on that one. Because you could have picked either one for a lot of different
yes,
reasons. You could have
yeah,
picked either one.
yeah.
There
Now,
are some people that'll say, yeah, how the hell she picked Memphis over Atlanta, and
that's
then
where
there's
it
other people
started.
that say, you mean she's in Music City, she lives in there, and she picks Memphis.
Yeah,
But Memphis has a very rich music history. For those of you
yes,
who love music and love music history, go, if you don't know about it, go search music. Memphis has as deep of music and rich music history as Detroit, as Motown.
yes, yes. They have
Go do
stacked
some
records
research.
in Memphis. So, and they made it into a place that you could come and visit, Stunt Sun Studio. And people flock there, they come there. So now Nashville has it's home of the country music, but, I didn't grow up in country music. I grew up with Aretha Franklin and listening to my father sing. And so I heard a lot of rich R&B, love music. I didn't hear a lot of country music. I didn't know anything. Elvis was as country as it got for me.
Yeah.
And that's what I remember. But, coming here when I want to have a, great time where people come visit, they want to go downtown, they want to go downtown and hear some music. So I'm all for it. Music I love no matter how you give it to me. I love
Yeah.
music.
For sure, for sure. If it's a vibe, man, I'm with it.
Yeah.
And but I want to say this just to add to it. We're gonna keep going. We got a few more for you, but I want to add to this when you talk about Nashville and related to country music. There are many people that was watching this that would say, you know, people like to relate Nashville to country music, and when its original roots to music is gospel. Through the Fifth
Mm.
Jubilee Singers, that's how
Oh
it's got its
yeah.
name as Music City, USA. And so I just want to make that point because some people only know Nashville for country music and don't know that the original reason why Nashville got the name Music City, USA is because of the Fifth Jubilee Singers who sung gospel music around the world. And
Yeah.
that name was given to Nashville by, I think, Queen Elizabeth,
Okay.
um, or someone of that level of dignity when
Ah.
Fisk went and traveled around the world and performed in front of them. So,
See, you just enlightened me. I didn't know that. I
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
know about the Jubilee Singers, but I didn't know. I knew about Fisk University, so I just wondered, how did they name that Fisk? But I
yeah,
didn't, I didn't know that. So thank you for sharing.
for
All right,
sure, for
all
sure.
right,
That's what this show's
Nashville.
about, for
All right.
sure. All right, so the place that you would claim for their musical roots would be Memphis. All right, here we go. Who got it? Memphis, Atlanta, or Nashville? If money was no object and the need was present, in which city would you build $1 million home?
Hmm. Probably the borough.
Not even Nashville, Murfreesboro.
Probably the borough. If you building $1 million home, you want to be somewhere where you can come home and not worry about being followed or drawing too much attention. That's one thing I do love about Murfreesboro. Even though it's getting busier as we speak, but it's just it's like a little relaxed town, like a hideaway or something. So,
Mm-hmm.
I feel, yeah, yeah, I would do it.
Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
Murfreesboro. All right, awesome. I appreciate your response to that. All right, last one. Last one. Who got it? Memphis, Atlanta, or Nashville? which city has the best cultural mix of food, music, and ethnic diversity?
What you said. um, Now that's a three-way story. I think Memphis has the food, Atlanta has the cultural diversity because it became like a little Detroit. It People came from everywhere for the opportunities that were presented years ago, and and then Nashville wraps in there also. I would have to give a point to each one. I would have to give something to each one of them.
A tie
They
on each
all
one of
got
those?
it.
Yeah, they. I would say all three cities are very diverse in
Yes.
culture, in music, in food, in
Yeah.
experiences, things that you can do there for sure. Atlanta being the biggest of the three cities,
Hmm.
and um, maybe the blackest of the three cities total
But you know what?
in total. But
Atlanta has a lot of diversity though, because people are
right, that's
looking
where I was
for,
going.
yeah, different opportunities. So even though it's very urban, as a matter of fact, when I was in leadership for a particular company that shall remain unnamed, I had more diversity in Atlanta than I had when I went to Memphis to
Hmm.
lead that market.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, the diversity was there, but not as much at home in Memphis.
Well, Atlanta does have an international airport, so people do come from all over the
Yeah,
world and land there. Some people end
yeah,
up staying there, for whatever reasons. So it is a hub in the South.
yeah,
The biggest city. It's like, the Los Angeles of the South or the New York of the
yeah.
South. You know what I mean?
They like the
So
busy life.
yeah, man, that traffic is crazy. All right, but that was fun. That was fun. So we got
Yeah,
who
yes,
got it? Memphis, Atlanta, or Murfreesboro? So the most interesting city to write a story about would be Memphis. The best
absolutely.
opportunity for personal growth would be Nashville or Murfreesboro.
Hmm.
The city that you would claim for their musical roots would be your hometown of Memphis. And if
Yes.
money was no object, the need was present, you would build $1 million home in Murfreesboro, and you believe that the best cultural mix of food, music, and diversity is neither of the three, but all of the three.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All
I
right.
stand on that. I stand on business, as the young folks say. I stand on.
Stand on all our responses. Is this your final answer?
That's my final answer.
Stand on business. Miss Mo, I appreciate you in
Yeah,
engaging in that game and that round and episode of Who Got It With Me. That was fun. That was fun. I
yeah.
enjoyed that.